This episode of the Fandalorian Podcast is brought to you by the Adler Real Estate Team. If you live in New York, anywhere between Manhattan and Montauk, and are looking to buy or sell, you need to call the Adler Real Estate Team. This real estate company is run by a husband and wife duo that, in addition to being real estate agents, are also a public school teacher and a police officer. It is a family-run business that gives you the attention and care you need when you're about to make one of the most important decisions of your life. And I know from experience. Also, if you mention that you are a fan of the Fandalorians, they will be able to get you up to $2,000 back at closing. It doesn't matter if you're buying or listing. So, if you are buying or selling anywhere from Manhattan to Montauk, call the Adler Real Estate Team at 631-384-6372. Or check out the website at adlerrealestateteam.com. Mention the Fandalorians and save today.
Welcome back, class. On today's podcast, America's favorite teachers are joined again by America's favorite teacher's favorite guest, Brandon Katz, as we try to determine the top movie of 2024. All this and more in a 2024 Movie Draft Part 2 episode of The Fandalorians. Teachers by day, nerds by night.
That is the bell. Class is back in session. Welcome to the Fandalorians Podcast. Teachers by day, nerds by night. The #1 public school teacher, pop culture podcast in the country, discussing all the latest in the world of entertainment. We are back for part 2, an exciting episode. Can't wait to get started. We do get new listeners all the time. I'm noticing that now. Now I'm going to introduce myself. First off, my name is Mr. Richardson, the man who has something to say to the Taylor Swift fans.
Wait, Taylor Swift fans or the Taylor Swift haters?
Haters. I read my own thing wrong. The haters. I got something for the haters. I got something for you. Listen. Just let it go. Why are we so upset? I can't do it. I was hoping one of you disagreed with me, but you don't because I asked because it bothers me.
Well, because we're all rational human beings.
Just who cares? She's on TV. I can't take it. I have people at work I deal with who literally say all the time, I can't take it on TV. I can't watch football because of her. I can't because she's on there for 30 seconds. It's bothering me. I'm so sad. No one, and Mrs. Weber said this, Ms. Weber, friend of the podcast, literally said to me, did anyone care when they cut to Spike Lee all the time during Knick games? I'm like, oh, Ms. Weber. He's like, what about Jack Nicholson? We saw Jack Nicholson all the time.
Patriarchy, Ms. Weber. I love it.
I saw on Colin Coward, this was like 2 days ago. She is averaging over every single NFL game she's attended 24 to 25 seconds of screen time in a 3.5-hour game. And I admittedly was one of those people who was starting to get a little annoyed. But when I saw it in context like that, I'm like, yeah, no, we can't be annoyed. That's absurd.
It's ridiculous. And you got to look at it this way. Listen, I got news for you. Let me put it this way. If you're an NFL fan and you think the NFL cares that you're annoyed by this, I believe the button is called congratulations, you played yourself. They don't care. They do not care at all because you're still going to watch. You're going to watch whether you like it or hate it. You're going to watch. They're looking for the secondary group. The people who don't normally watch, who are actively tuning in to see her, are now jumping in. They don't care. You're still watching. All these people I've talked to, I'm so mad about this. Are you watching the Super Bowl? Yeah, you are. You're still watching it. And that's how it is. So just let it go.
Hate watching still counts as watching.
Yeah, who cares? Stop being old grumpy men. Stop it.
My favorite is the conspiracy theory that the NFL now wants Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl just because of Taylor Swift.
Oh, they're making a killing because of her because she has one of the biggest reaches I've ever. She's got all sorts of groups buying jerseys. That's fine. They're making money. The NFL literally is everything. There's nothing on Sunday that's bigger. Name it, they can't touch it.
If you look at the top 50 most watched shows this year, I think 48 or 47 of them were NFL.
Right. And they're like, you know what? We want more money. Let them have it. I don't really care. She's cool. It's all good. Co-teaching with me, the man who's been waiting 12 years for this moment to happen, Mr. McDonald. What's happened?
Well, so the stomach bug has been ravaging my household. So my kids have been home sick for the last several days. But because of the miracles of modern technology, they're still able to do their schoolwork.
That's sad.
So my son gets a social studies assignment, and he has to write an essay on battles of the American Revolution. And he turns to me and he goes, Dad, I need your help. And I got to tell you, I'm trying to act cool. I'm trying to act normal. But, I'm a social studies teacher. But all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, be cool. Don't scare him off. Just be cool. And all of a sudden, I was just totally uncool. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right. And I overblasted him with every possible knowledge fact about the American Revolution. And he's like, all right, Dad, I need you to walk away.
Yeah. Where's Mom?
It's such healthy masculinity right here. I love it.
Yeah. We never get called in.
No, and then I came back, I gathered my wits, and I'm like, look, I'm not going to tell you what to write.
Right.
I'm just going to teach you how to organize what you're going to write. And I feel like that was the safe way to go. And I tried to treat him like one of my own students, and then I started yelling at him. But
Yes. Yeah.
It worked out.
Well, at least he didn't tell you weren't doing it right.
Well,
I think the only reason he didn't do that is because he'd been out of school for the last 3 days.
Oh, so he doesn't know.
Yeah. I'm sure his teacher is going to be like, you wrote this wrong. And then we're going to have words.
Yeah. I had to help my daughter write something that she did not get a good grade on, and I was really miffed about it.
You're like, I have 2 college degrees. I wrote this and I got a C.
The problem is it wasn't on the nose. She had to write something from the point of view of a scallywag, which is a white Southerner that was in the South but agreed with the North during the Civil War. So afterwards, I wrote some stuff in there to be not on the nose, more like read between the lines. And his comment was, "You didn't just come out and say it."
Oh,
and I'm like,
subtext.
What is he, 22?
I know.
He's 22. He's a 22. He's a new guy.
No, he was an older guy, but I was just like, but what? You just can't come out and say, I'm a scallywag.
Look at me scallywagging in a scallywagging way.
It's not what you want.
Exactly.
It's not what you want at all.
Not to inspire cheating among your young and impressionable audience, but I had a thriving essay writing business in high school. $10 a page, money back if you got anything less than an A-.
Well played.
Yeah, Brandon's out here.
Wait, hold on. For our fans at home, does this policy still exist? Because my kid got like $20.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm a little busy these days with a full-time job and adult life, but hey, for the right price, I'll come out of retirement.
You can take Venmo. You can Venmo now too. You ain't gotta chase people down for money. When the money's in the account, you get the paper. So that's good. Shout out to Brandon doing the Lord's work out there. My other co-teacher, the man who finished listening to 3 books since last week, Mr. G. Oh, it's only been.
Hold on. Did you listen to all 3 at the same time, simultaneously?
Well done, Mr. J.
No.
That's not
No. But I am going to preface this. 2 of the books were from the Little House on the Prairie series. So those are children's books.
I want to know why that's prefaced. I want to start with that one.
Okay, ready?
Sure.
So you know how I always say I like just to put on cable TV and let cable TV tell me what to watch? Mm-hmm. Well, there I was one night. 4 hours later, I've watched 4 episodes of the Little House on the Prairie. And then I found out it streams on Amazon. So I'm halfway through season 2 now of Little House on the Prairie. And I was like, you know what? How did this all start? I read the Wizard of Oz. How did it all start? Let me listen to these books. So I listened to the first book and just meanders. She's just going on about her life, stuff she ate. Every chapter is about stuff she ate growing up. She likes bear meat, was her favorite. I skipped book 2. Then I went to book 3, which is actually Little House on the Prairie, which had a story. It had a beginning and it had an end. And a buddy of mine just texted me before, and he asked me if I finished reading another book that he had suggested. I said, no, man, I couldn't. It just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, besides, right now I'm in the Little House on the Prairie. He's like, yo, man, book 2, The Little Farm Boy. That was the jam when I was a kid.
I am just stunned that you've gone down the rabbit hole to Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. And the other book was the last book of the Pendergast trilogy that I listened to. So I kind of wrapped that up.
So of the
That
three
was like an
books
adult book.
you read this of the three books you read this week, which one was the best?
This is a tough one. I really enjoyed Little House on the Prairie. It's very interesting. It was a good. It was a. It's very fictionalized. The criticism of it is it's very fictionalized, but it's just still interesting to paint the picture. But then now I've got another book on deck, an actual adult historical fiction of living on the prairie. So.
Listen, nothing brings stuff to the table like Mr. G. Little House on the Prairie, the Hallmark movies. Like, it's a whole corner of pop culture that's left untouched. But a new Hallmark movie drops, he's in there. He's like,
let me tell you,
and
Brandon,
Thanksgiving every time.
You're too young for this Little House on the Prairie. But if Jimmy or Pat, I don't know if you remember ever watching
it. I know Little House on the Prairie. Come on,
you don't know
Brandon.
Nelly.
We watched it like live.
Nelly, let me tell
we were on the
you
set.
How much I hate Nelly. The little girl that was Laura's, the school, she was the store owner, the general store owner's daughter, the mom and the daughter. Such well-written characters that you hate them so much, you want to punch this little girl in the face. Oh man, they boils my blood every time I watch
it. I preface that with allegedly Charlie would never hit a child.
Yeah. Right.
Listen,
the thoughts and feelings of Mr. G are for Mr. G's home. Just don't.
Even Laura Ingalls didn't want to. All right. So this one episode, the guy was going to drown some puppies in a river because he didn't want them anymore. But Laura and Mary came along and saved these little puppies. Then they had to give them away. They literally did not want to give one to Nellie, even though they had 4 of them. But they just didn't want to give one to Nellie because Nellie can't even be nice to a little dog.
So you can hear this more with the Fandalorians watch Little House on the Prairie, led by Charlie G, a 700-part docuseries.
Oh,
I'm in for all of it.
Nellie is so terrible. Well-written character. You just want to hate her.
And back for part 2 of the 2024 movie bracket draft. And making a record-tying 6th appearance. You're tied on the podcast, Brandon Katz. Welcome back.
Wait, hold on. Is he tied with your daughter?
He is tied with Hayden.
So
wow,
it kind of feels like it's first place because he's not related to any of us.
There you go.
I'm not going to say that at all. Brandon, thanks for coming on.
I'll take the asterisk. I don't mind. I don't mind my record coming with a little bit of a commentary.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of commentary, I reached out to Hayden today. And I told her that Brandon
trying to get on her 7th time just to stay ahead.
No, I told her, listen, we have someone coming on who's going to be Brandon. He's going to be on for his 6th time. He has tied you. She said, "Can I drop a message into your voicemail that you play later in the podcast?" I was like, "All right." So I haven't heard this yet, but she left a long message about her thoughts about Brandon tying her. So we're going to play this now. I actually haven't listened.
I'll get my censor dump button ready for any foul language.
No, she won't. I know she won't, Paris. All right, here we go. Hopefully it's loud enough.
Hi, Daddy. It has come to my attention that someone's coming on your podcast for the 6th time. I would just like to remind you that I've been on there 6 times, which means he has now tied my record for number of appearances. I understand that I'm away for college, but I feel like this is very unacceptable and inappropriate. I'm not jealous. I'm just sick to my stomach, and I cannot sleep. I cannot think. I cannot eat. I didn't even go to my classes today, and this is your fault. I feel like you should look into this. This behavior is unacceptable, and just remember who was here first. Just remember who was here first. Thank you. I want to recount. Thank you. Bye, Daddy. Love you. Sort of.
So hang on a sec. Does that count as her 7th appearance?
Yeah, you know what? That might be it. That might have to count.
I think the only fair thing is that Hayden and I both come on in a future episode.
Oh, then she is coming
to
back.
bury the hatchet.
Yeah. We will join forces and take on the old folks.
My favorite thing was ending was, "Goodbye, Daddy. I love you." Sort of. Like under her breath, and it dropped out. Shout out to her. She got so annoyed when I told her.
You are clearly raising that girl right. You should be
really
proud.
Funny. She's actually really funny because she texted me later. "I hope that was going to be okay. I just made up off the top of my head." I'm like, "God, you sound like me." Just off the top of your head. She's just rips
like, I can record another one.
Yeah. She doesn't even remember what she said.
All you guys felling over your kids, this is giving me something wonderful to look forward to in my future.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Please rate and review us wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm going to go quick because we're running late. Get the merch. And all the money, though, goes to Laney's Legacy of Hope. Laney's a nonprofit organization that engages in fundraising and activities to provide assistance to families with someone suffering from pediatric cancer. Volunteer run program, no CEOs, no board. 100% of our cut goes to them. That's great. And clear the list. There are lists out there. Teachers need stuff. Clear it. Get it done. We are done. All right. We got to move on. It's time for our building meeting. When we come back, we will get to the Sweet 16 of our movie draft. We will let you know where we left off last time, reset the deck, and battle it down to the end. I'm excited. Most of you seem to be too. Here we go.
Come on down to the building meeting. Come on down today. There's many things to talk about. Yes, you have to stay. Urgent things to discuss. So lose that face of disgust. No, this couldn't be an email. So come on down today. Building meeting today. Oh yeah, it's the building meeting today.
Last episode, we started our 36-team single elimination bracket to make our way down to the best movie in 2024, the most exciting movie, one we're looking forward to the most. The way the premise worked for us was this. You have a ticket, you go in, these two movies are playing. Which theater are you walking into? You had to walk into a theater. You couldn't walk out the theater. We've all wanted to walk out numerous times in the first round. But now we're down to the Sweet 16. Let me lay it out for you. We have DeadPool facing Fall Guy. We have Alien Romulus, right? I think it is. Alien Romulus versus Inside Out 2. Joker's taking on Civil War. Gladiator taking on Bad Boys 4. Wicked versus Beetlejuice. Ghostbusters versus the Karate Kid sequel. Lion King Mufasa versus Kung Fu Panda 4. And Mad Max versus Dune. There's a lot. There's a lot here. We're going to fight our way through the Sweet 16. We're going to start with DeadPool versus Fall Guy. DeadPool, I looked up the official term. It says that irresponsible hero Deadpool will change the history of the MCU with Wolverine. Sounds like fun. Versus Fall Guy. After leaving the business 1 year earlier, battle-scarred stuntman Colt Seaver springs back into action when a star of a big studio movie suddenly disappears. As the mystery surrounding the missing actor deepens, Colt soon finds himself ensnared in a sinister plot. May 3rd, Ryan Gosling. These two movies are facing off each other in our first round. Mr. Katz, I'll let you go first.
That's easy. Deadpool 3. The Fall Guy looked particularly good. I love the leads, but not for me.
This is exactly the kind of movie that I love. You know, a movie that doesn't take itself quite seriously. It sounds like it would be a fun time. Yeah, the cast looks excellent, but this is the only Marvel movie coming out this year. Just the fact that it is so scarce, this movie is going to do bonkers, I think. So I'm going to have to go with Deadpool.
Mr. J.
I don't think the MCU only movie has anything to do with it. I think Deadpool has a good fan base in terms of cinema. So personally, I'm going to go see Deadpool way over Fall Guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste time. It's Deadpool by numerous reasons that I might mention in the next round if it was necessary, but I'm not even going to do it right now. Deadpool advances. Next up, Alien Romulus versus Inside Out 2. I looked up. Alien Romulus will take place between the events of Alien, which came out in 1979, and the 1986 sequel, Aliens. I don't know how that even matters too much. It's more the same, but I can't remember it well enough. Anyway, that's what we know about Aliens. Inside Out 2 returns to the mind of a newly minted teenager, Riley, just as headquarters is undergoing a sudden demolition to make room for something entirely unexpected. New emotions. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust run into anxiety. And, hijinks ensue. What are we taking, Mr. J?
Oh, this is an easy one. Seeing how I've never seen any of the Aliens movies in entirety, I will walk into Inside Out 2.
Did you see the Aliens crossover with Little House on the Prairie? Did you get to that one episode yet? Because it's something. It is something.
I saw Predator versus Little House. No.
You know what? That's gold. We should do that. I'm not gonna lie. Mr. McDonald.
I mean, for me, the Alien movies, they're either amazing or they're kind of stupid. And so I don't know. It depends. I was doing a little research on the director of this movie. Did a lot. He comes from a background of horror. And I think that's the right kind of tone you want to get with an Alien movie, because really that's what this series is. From the beginning of James Cameron's run, this has been a horror movie dressed up as a sci-fi movie. And if they kind of stick to their roots there, that would be amazing. But, you know, having said all that, Inside Out 2, their new character is Anxiety, and I think it's brilliant, and it's going to win. Inside Out 2.
As someone who's never seen Inside Out, the first one, missed that one too. There's a lot of stuff on this list I haven't seen. I'm just going to come clean. I'm not going to hold it back anymore because I didn't have time to talk last week. We were going too far and too long. Yeah, I didn't see it. A lot of gaps, things I don't get to.
Well, Mr. Richardson, you have to carve out 4 hours for this movie, because you have to carve out 2 hours to see Inside Out and then 2 hours to emotionally recover from watching Inside Out, because you will have every emotion. You will cry. You will laugh. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so so because of that, and I know teenagers in general, anxiety is a big thing nowadays. So this could help people, and I'm all about helping the kids. You know, yeah. Let's listen to love the kids. You know, I love the kids, helping the kids. So despite the fact that Alien has a stronger tie for me, because my father took me to all these things, he's big horror, big sci-fi. Inside Out 2, I think that's bigger for me, so I'm going to take that. Mr. Katz.
I mean, Ridley Scott and James Cameron created such a wonderful universe with Alien and Aliens, filled with a lot of storytelling opportunity. I can't lie, I'm very, very excited to return, and hopefully this is a good one after Alien Covenant. Not so good. Prometheus, a lot of good and a lot of not so good mixed together. So we'll see, but it's Inside Out too for me. I'm very much with Mr. McDonald, and that Inside Out is a crowning achievement in Pixar's storied history.
Inside Out advances, heading into our next round. Moving quick, guys. Joker 2 with Joaquin. What is it every time? Joaquin. Bye-bye. Like Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix. He's back as a Joker. Lady Gaga's playing Harley Quinn. It's coming back. Sequel to the 2019 film. We also have Civil War. In the near future, a team of journalists travel across the United States during a rapidly escalating civil war that has engulfed the entire nation between the American government and the separatist Western forces led by Texas and California. The world's becoming a dystopian dictatorship, blah, 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 political violence, extremists. Okay. These two movies are facing off. McDonald, which one?
I never saw the first Joker, so this one doesn't quite interest me as much. I mean, the fact that Lady Gaga's in it, I do think she does a really nice job of picking roles, and so I'm excited for that. That makes me more likely to see it. Part of me wants Civil War to advance just so I can watch Charlie's head explode after last time. But no, I mean, the idea of this Civil War, it hits really close to home, you know, of like realistic might possibly happen, but probably not. I'm going to go Civil War.
I'm also going to go Civil War. You know, I disagree with Mr. G last time. I think I have no problem with this kind of movie. Shouldn't go away. I'm good with it. I don't like the idea of it's art. Let's just take it away and not show it because it could cause crazy people. Crazy people exist. Crazy people may actually see something and do something crazy. I remember the fact that, you know, let's ban rap music, let's ban violent video games. We don't like Harry Potter is causing witchcraft. I'm just not a fan of any way of saying that some art form has to be pulled away because crazy people might do crazy things. I just don't like that part of it. I have no problem with this. I'm good with it. I'd like to see it and see what they do. I remember HBO had this show they were going to come out with about what if slavery still existed, and then they canceled it because it got too hot. Nah, show that. Show that. Make people uncomfortable. It's okay. I would have no problem seeing that. I either like it, turn it off, or I don't. It doesn't bother me. But I don't like to not do things because of that, because that happens in other states more. That being said, though, also, I never saw the first Joker, and I didn't really have no interest in it. I'm with Mr. G sometimes, making the villain the positive. I don't know. Sometimes
he's certainly not a hero in that movie. It's more of an origin story.
And there's nothing like necessarily good about him. They don't make him into a good guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually.
There is a sympathetic aspect to it, but it's not like, he's a hero.
Batman's the villain. Wasn't the switch. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm going to take Civil War, though. Mr. J.
All right. So I've thought about this. I got my one ticket. Got to pick here. And yeah, Mr. Richardson, I do agree with your statement on shutting down art and that it doesn't work. So we can't be ostriches and put our heads in the ground and pretend that it's not there. So I understand.
It's trying to come for Ice Cube, Mr. G, and I won't let that stand.
Listen, I like some Tupac, man.
What? I know how you are.
You know what? I had random tangent. I've been like on a deep dive listening to Tupac lately. Anyway, it's like now he's all, you just watch one video.
Wait, hold on. So your two deep dives were Little House on the Prairie and Tupac.
I'm keeping it real. You watch one video on TikTok, and for all it's,
I know.
It's all on my feed. There's this cool mix with Tupac and Eminem, and it's Lose Yourself, but with Tupac doing a verse in it. It's pretty fire, man. With that said, I want to see Lady Gaga sing her In Shallow song with Joaquin. And that's what I want to see. I want to see those two singing, because that song is a fabulous song. I can listen to that song and I can get the goosebumps and I feel the connection. They literally fell in love, those two. I think it ruined his marriage or broke up his whatever was going on. Bradley Cooper and whoever he was seeing. It caused some strife in his life. Emotional song. With that said, I'm going to go see Joker with my ticket because, yes, you can go and watch Civil War, but I don't want to give myself nightmares, just like I'm not jumping in the water when there's sharks in the water.
Yes,
I'm not going to jump into this movie. Mr. Katz.
I give Joker 2019 credit because the only thing that's going to keep the superhero genre, which is the most overly saturated popular genre in modern mainstream filmmaking today, is expansion of the genre. You got to make sure it doesn't become stale by doing different things. And Joker is really a psychological character study masquerading as a superhero comic book film. And so by amalgamating other genres, you're doing something interesting that kind of departs from the conventional expected source material. And now this one is a musical too, with two deranged people, two talented actors. So that is very interesting to me. I want to see it. But if we're going pound for pound, who's the better filmmaker, Todd Phillips or Alex Garland? For me, it's Alex Garland. And at the end of the day, I want to see something he makes that's going to be thought-provoking and swing for the fences, just like a musical Joker movie is. But I just am more intrigued by his ability to provide commentary on society more so than Todd Phillips is. I'm going to see both movies, but for the purposes of this, I'm going with Civil War.
You just completely talked me into seeing Joker. As you said that little thing about the... I mean, you know what? That sounds... There's a lot of... We all have gaps. Say it again?
I'm seeing both. I'm excited for both, but...
No. You only get to see one. Whatever ends up at the end of this is the only one we're all allowed to see. That's how this works out. It's in the fine print, Mr. Six-Time Appearance.
Contract.
Civil War advances. Next matchup is Gladiator versus Bad Boy 2.
Bad Boys 4?
I mean Bad Boys 4.
Hop in your time machine and see Bad Boys 2.
It's, you know what? I honestly,
if the time machine's on the table, I take the time machine. I
think that too. I honestly think it might have a better chance against Bad Boys 2. I'm not even sure. Gladiator. Anyway, all right. Gladiator 2. I'm going to read this. Lucius is Lucille's son in the original movie. I didn't see the first Gladiator either. Did I tell you guys that?
Jesus, Jimmy.
What?
Yeah, I didn't. Never saw it.
Mr. Richardson, honestly, pause the podcast and go.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously, man.
It is the perfect prestige popcorn film.
Why did I
it's no joke.
When did Gladiator come out? Let me tell you what happened.
2001, 2002.
Ready?
This was Fathead's pick as his
I know,
favorite movie,
right?
too.
Once when we did the movie draft, we did the episode, Brandon, where your friend's in the coma for the night. Yeah, you listen every week,
Well,
his first
Jimmy,
pick was Gladiator, and I didn't say a word. I'm like, I don't get killed by this guy, but I didn't see this. But
So your name is not Maximus Decimus Meridius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and commander of the Northern Legion armies, and in this life or the next, he will have his vengeance.
Exactly.
No, it's not. It's not.
So Jimmy, Gladiator is like if the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone movies got their master's degree, because it's an action movie, but it is like world class action movie. So well done. Same director here. All right, make your pick before I say anything else.
I have no pick. All right, it's Gladiator versus Bad Boy 4. McDonald, just go. Make your pick.
It's Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2 versus Bad Boy 4.
Struggling with
Listen,
the sequel.
I didn't want to read the thing on Gladiator because I'm looking at them like, I don't know these names. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I can't read it when I've never heard of it. You know what's on the table. Go, Mr. McDonald. I assume you're taking Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Gladiator 2. And the only thing that concerns me is how are they going to really sequelize a movie that really had a definitive ending? But it seems like they have a good story. I trust the filmmakers. The cast looks stacked. And I miss movies where like the 12th lead is still amazing. They had these all the time in the 90s. I'm in my law class, we're watching A Time to Kill. And that movie is an excellent movie, but also like the 20th lead is Kiefer Sutherland. And he's unbelievable in it. And you're just like, oh my God, that guy's in it. That guy's in it. I miss movies like that.
Yeah, a bunch of that guys.
So Gladiator 2, it has Denzel in a supporting role. It has Pedro Pascal in it, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Who's the main character of this movie?
It's supposed to be the son. I forget who's playing him.
Paul Mescal, who's an incredibly talented up-and-coming actor. Barry Keoghan, another really talented actor.
Oh, Barry Keoghan, I love, yeah.
Jamon Houston is coming back. Apologies if I'm butchering that.
No.
Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things is in it. Like a lot of young guys and a lot of veterans.
But yet again, stellar cast, stellar filmmakers. This movie's going to be amazing.
Mr. G.
Gladiator 2.
Okay, Mr. Katz.
Would Gladiator 2, but do you guys know what the original sequel Ridley wanted to make was?
Oh my God, it's bonkers.
It's so
what is
so
it?
so they well, I don't want to spoil Gladiator 1 for you now.
Joaquin
okay, ready?
Phoenix
I'm going
is
to take
in
this off because I'm not editing this one. Just tell me when you're done. Wave me back.
Okay. So just long story short, the original pitch was that the ancient Roman gods would revive Maximus and that he would be a staple in every major war over the next hundreds of years leading up to more or less contemporary American society. And while that sounds like it wouldn't make a good movie, it would make a bonkers, crazy, awesome, stupid experience that I would absolutely pay money to go see.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? Remember the opening scene of the movie Wolverine? And that movie was terrible.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
But the first 5 minutes of that was Wolverine and Sabretooth throughout like every war. And you're like, yeah, I would totally see that.
And you know who else was there? The Transformers. They were in every war too.
Apparently, yeah. All right.
Okay,
but I'm glad they didn't go through that.
Guys, I'm back. I'm glad I didn't hear anything. All right. I know Gladiator advances. We are heading to Wicked versus Beetlejuice. Wicked, which is kind of known as Wicked Part 1. Upcoming musical fantasy film. First of a 2-part film adaptation of the stage show. Revolves around Elphaba, a green-skinned woman, explores the path that leads her to become the Wicked Witch of the West. Part 1 is coming out November 27th. The sequel is coming out the following year. And they are faced off against Beetlejuice. Tim Burton returns to direct the sequel to the 1988 classic. Winona Ryder's here. Catherine O'Hara is back. Michael Keaton. Jenna Ortega joining the show. William Dafoe is in the building. Everyone's here. And just a follow-up to the original. So we have Beetlejuice. We have Wicked. I'm going to just jump right in and say I'm taking Beetlejuice for the one, the nostalgia, of course. 2, I'm looking at the cast and I'm literally thinking, I like all these people. My daughter's going to drag me because of Jenna Ortega. I mean, Michael Keaton's back. It's just sometimes to go back into the world, nostalgia works. Certain things. Star Trek Next Generation Picard season 3, the nostalgia, I loved every second of that because that was my thing. I didn't think Top Gun was going to be as big as it would be. I was wrong. McDonald was right. Nostalgia hit there. This could be the one. I'm kind of excited, and I know Wicked, and plus, me, part 1, part 2, give me the whole thing. I can pass on that. So I'm walking into Beetlejuice Theater. Brandon.
This is tough because Wicked is a wonderful show that teaches people not to believe preconceived notions, judge a book by its cover, and to get to know the character of a person beyond what is their reputation and what they look like, which is a wonderful message. Beetlejuice has the nostalgia. It is one of the most unique films, in kind of, I would say, like contemporary in the sense of last 50 years of cinema. Yeah. But guys, I don't mean to be a hater because he's responsible for so many great films. But in my opinion, you could make the case that Tim Burton has not made a good movie since either Sweeney Todd, which I don't love, but some people do, in 2007, or a good live action movie, or Big Fish in 2003. I think you can very much make that case. So the chances of Beetlejuice 2 being good, are slimmer in my opinion. So I am going to go with Wicked, even though I love Beetlejuice. I love Michael Keaton. I mean, it's showtime.
Yeah.
This is the hardest bracket for me because these are two movies that I want to see.
Yeah.
Which movie, though? Like, I'm feeling you, Brandon, with saying, is Beetlejuice really actually going to be a good movie? And the chances of it actually being a good movie, it's tough. I have faith that with the popularity of Jenna Ortega, that she's not going to let it, hurt her career, and Michael Keaton's kind of like back on the horse. I feel like just alone, they're kind of going to push this movie along and it's going to be good. But I really do honestly want to see Wicked. So I'm going to take my ticket and I'm going to go see Wicked. I'd rather go to Broadway and see Wicked, which I could.
Yeah. You and I can belt out show tunes together.
Nice.
Mr. McDonald.
This matchup is what I was looking forward to talking about because, I feel like, we talk about quadrants in a movie with 4 quadrants. This certainly is going to get young females and older females. I don't know how great it's going to do on men. And then Beetlejuice, on the other hand, it's going to get old men and probably older women just who loved that as well. It's going to get young women because of Jenna Ortega. And then really, it just, is it going to be funny enough? Is it going to be, the effects going to be cool enough? Is it going to be enough to get those young kind of guys? Yeah, I'm going to go Beetlejuice 2 here because, you're right. Tim Burton hasn't made an excellent movie in a long time, but he certainly knows the world of Beetlejuice, and I think this is his chance. So I'm going to go Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah, we don't need to do the coin flip. I'm switching. I'm changing my vote because of what, it never happens, because of what Brandon said and Charlie did. Brandon brought up all the films, so I searched Tim Burton films, and there is nothing here I've liked since. The only thing on here I've really liked was, Pee-wee Herman, but that was before that. That was 85. Beetlejuice is 88.
He did Pee-wee Herman?
Yeah. I'm looking at Sweeney Todd. I really didn't like that. Edward Scissorhands, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, as someone who read the book every year. Nope. Corpse Bride, Big Fish, Alice in Wonderland, Sleepy Hollow, Planet of the Apes I didn't like. Dark Shadows.
Are you saying you didn't like Edward Scissorhands and Big Fish?
I didn't like, you know what? I take it back on Big Fish. I have
no clue what that movie is. I've never heard of it before.
That was the one with Ewan McGregor, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's got a great, talk about a stacked cast. That one's good too.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I take that back. I did like the first Batman 1989. I'm not going to lie. I actually enjoyed that. And it's, at the time, it's the first portrayal of Batman in the way Batman kind of was in the comics. So I have to not retroactively act like I didn't like it. But in recent memory, as you pointed out, there's been nothing there. I don't know.
Clear. Whoa. Tim Burton's made some great films. But I'm specifically saying, for my opinion, like in the 21st century.
You're right. So I'm gonna mess around. I'm gonna switch my vote. I would actually go into Wicked instead. I was gonna walk in
against Jenna Ortega.
I thought Wednesday was terrible, personally.
What?
I love Wednesday.
Hold on. What? Say that again.
No,
I thought Wednesday was terrible.
What?
Really? Why do you think Wednesday was terrible? I need to know.
It's just like a boring YA CW, version of like the Addams Family, and like I don't feel anything authentic or new or fresh with any of it. She gives a great portrayal, but boy was I bored.
All right.
The love triangle. Oh my god.
That
All
should
right,
not have
here's
been
two
there, but
things.
that's the one thing I complain about the most, the love triangle. Everything else, she shouldn't have grown and changed that way at all. She should have been dark and twisted all the way throughout and stuck to it. The love triangle was the dumbest move they had.
You're always talking about how that character needs to change and grow, though.
Not this one. She should maybe slightly, definitely not a love triangle. That was off base. That came out of nowhere. Everything was fine up until that point. I do want characters to grow and change. That was too far. Everything else I thought was okay. She's dark and twisted in a world where she had to sort of care. It could have ended with her hugging her friend, and that's the extent of her growth. She's literally a sociopath. And I was good with it because I was rooting for her. So, and plus, I had my kids with me too, so maybe there's more of that. But go ahead, Charlie. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you know what, Brandon? I watched it with my daughter and my son, so we would watch it all. We watched it all together. So that was also like, you know, their curiosity in it, because
that's awesome.
They're like, what? Huh?
Yeah,
it was
he's
made for them.
sandwiched between
They
wrong
don't
generations.
know Adam's
That's a
family.
beautiful thing. Anything I think that you get to enjoy with your kids is likely like makes it the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Which is
So Brandon, when you have
Sometimes-
kids one day, you're not
Yeah.
gonna let her watch it, right? That's basically what you're saying.
no, I would totally anything
No, you
my
won't.
future kids want to watch that's appropriate for whatever age they're at. I'm like, let's teen it up, whatever. Tee it up. What am I trying to say, guys?
Tee it up. Tee it
Yeah.
up. We got you
So
on
and
tape,
then we'll be
Brandon.
like, put it on the hollow screen.
You are never watching Wednesday. Go to your room. You
Yeah,
ruined
no,
my
of
life,
course.
Dad.
I just, you know, for all the hype and as much as I enjoyed the first episode, was expecting a lot more. And ultimately, I think it was the most conventional, most vanilla, most down the middle, you know, CW sci-fi, you know, YA show.
I feel like that was their target audience. So like sometimes, Brandon, I struggle with this. I'm
It's
not
not
the
for
target
me.
audience,
Yeah.
so is it really for me?
I
But-
get that. I respect that. But I still think you can target the specific audience, which is younger, but do so in a way that is fresh and creative. I mean, you know, I think Star Wars, again, not exactly super comparable, but ultimately a kid's franchise, but manages to do things in very fresh, unique ways that thematically weave a lot of things in and can come off very much as earnest and authentic and not necessarily corny, cheesy, and, oh, I've seen 1,000 versions of this. That's just, you know, listen, Wednesday's one of the most popular Netflix shows of all time, so I'm in the minority.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
No, I
okay
get
with
your
that.
point. The love triangle stunk for me. That was the one thing I hated the
See,
most. But I was good
The
with
problem is when our expectations don't go against what actually happens. And so I think after that first episode of Wednesday, you're like, this is going to be game changing. And nothing on Netflix is
Yeah.
necessarily going to be game changing. Everything's going towards the algorithm. They know what they're doing. They know how to get your attention.
Well, here's the thing. I had no expectations going into this, and I didn't even want to watch it. My daughter dragged me to it. So having that low of an expectation, the bar was reached. Didn't love the triangle, but I was okay with it. All right, well, so move on. Wicked advances. We are now facing Ghostbusters 2 versus the Karate Kid sequel. Listen, Ghostbusters, a new trailer just dropped. It's set in New York City. Everyone's back. Old school, new school. We got a crossover. Everyone's together. We're Avenging assembled with all the Ghostbusters together. And the Karate Kid sequel, sometime in late November. I don't know. Machio's there. And Jackie Chan will be back as Mr. Han, which is weird. Like they're going to be, hey, did you help a boy fight in a tournament? I did the same thing. That's strange. I don't understand how that's going to work. When I read that part that they're going to both be in it. And both,
I think his son is going to, Danielson's son is going to be in Jackie Chan's dojo.
It's just absurd, the idea of, hey, one man helped me one time win a tournament. Oh my God, I just did the same thing with a little black kid overseas. That's so weird. And now we know each other. Anyway, I'm taking Ghostbusters. No need to say why. It's Ghostbusters. I'm good. Miss McDonald.
All right. So for me, I look at this. I think the idea of Jackie Chan and my dog apparently agrees with me.
Yogi's in.
Yogi says Karate Kid sequel. It seems interesting, but I'm going to go Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. They just released a brand new trailer for this literally like a couple of days ago, and it looks super fun. So that's what I'm going for. Ghostbusters.
Brandon. Wednesday?
I've never seen Ghostbusters 2 or Ghostbusters Afterlife, so I guess I'm going to go with the weird Karate Kid amalgamation.
It's the weirdest thing.
All right. So I'm going to go in to see my ticket. I'm going to put my ticket down. I'm going to go see Ghostbusters. And I'm not seeing it for Peter Venkman and Spangler's not. You know what? I bet Spangler's going to be in there somewhere. Weird. Like for Ray, Winston. I'm really in it for Paul Rudd's character. I thought he was hilarious in Afterlife.
He was really funny.
He really stole the show for me in that movie.
Yeah, so Ghostbuster advances. We now face Lion King Mufasa versus Kung Fu Panda 4. All right, Simba, he's in charge of the Pride. And little flashbacks to the origin of his late father, Mufasa. That's December 20th. And Kung Fu Panda 4, Poe's training a new warrior. And they're dealing with shenanigans and bad guys. Who are we taking in this one?
Lion King. Like I said last week, Barry Jenkins is behind the camera. He's the creative mind behind Moonlight, one of the best films of the last 20 years, in my opinion. So as much as I don't really love the Disney recreations of their classic animated tunes, I'm intrigued what such a talented filmmaker and storyteller can do.
I'm going to follow your lead and take Lion King. I'm going to say the exact same thing. Same. I'm the kid in class. Yeah, I agree with him. Did I get my participation point for the day? No, I wasn't. I'm not a fan of the Kung Fu Panda series, honestly. I saw the first one, didn't see the rest of them, and just was not interested. So Lion King is more interesting to me. Either one. I mean, I have to go see something. I take Lion King, Mr. J.
I'm probably going to actually really, in reality, see Kung Fu Panda 4, but I would prefer to go see The Lion King because I think the more interesting part of this story is going to be Scar. That's going to be the interesting part of Lion King.
Young Scar. Yeah, it's flashback into Mufasa.
Right.
And so you get young Scar and a little Breaking Bad.
I think there's going to be a lot more of that.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Lion King, Mufasa, the animation seems pretty good. It's weird seeing like real effects on animals. That was the weird part for me for watching The Lion King. But once you got over that, it was good. And the Barry Jenkins is, great filmmaker. I do like the fact that they're letting him take a big swing here. Kung Fu Panda. I've seen all three. I like them. They're good. I think it's going to make a lot of money. But I think The Lion King Mufasa is just going to be the bigger movie.
We have Lion King advances. We have Mad Max versus
Furiosa.
Thank you. Mad Max Furiosa. Didn't see the first one within the week. Sorry. Versus Dune 2. Yes, everyone's still mad at me. I got Gladiator written down.
So much homework to do. It's incredible.
We have to do a gap in pop culture knowledge and just go back and watch
that episode. Yeah. We have to do one. We haven't done one in a while. It's just
I would do a watch party for that.
Yes. There's a couple windows of young children moments where you miss a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just going to use that excuse. I have no idea when the stuff came out.
Well, that was me with
a lot of these came out.
Wait, what'd you say?
You were an adult when a lot of these came out.
You know what? Can we mute Brandon? No, mute Brandon. He's saying crazy stuff.
Brandon, when you have children, you just lose a year of pop culture.
That's fair. Okay,
but
that I can get behind.
I was an adult. We can't keep using our kids to prove our point when he says something we don't like. You know what, Brandon? Our kids liked it. So why do you hate our children, Brandon? That's the bigger issue.
I do this for the kids.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
All right, so I'm going to go last if necessary. But if not, you guys who have both vested interest in this more than me, I don't want to mess up a vote. My hating it. I'll go where the last person walks into. So, Mr. G, you walk in the theater first. Where are you?
All right. This is the hardest pick to pick from because out of all of the movies here, both of these movies are cinematic treats in theater experiences. I think the surround sound, the size of the screen for both of these movies are really going to raise the level of the enjoyment of this movie, both of them. With that said, honestly, Jimmy, I don't know which one I'd want to see more. I don't want to see Dune because I feel like it's going to be boring, but at the same time, I'm going to have FOMO with not seeing it in the theater. Which one do I don't know. Which one do I want to see? You know what? I could probably watch Furiosa at home and enjoy it just as much because I do think that Dune 1 would have been more enjoyable in the theater than on my couch at home, even though I had a 70-inch television.
Wow, what a humble brag.
Listen, I was in Target yesterday And I walked in there and they had like 80-inch televisions for like $300. I'm like, man. I turned to Leo. I was like, yo, you want a TV for your room?
It's not the flex it used to be.
Yeah, no. I want to go see Dune 2 with my ticket. And then I'm going to sneak out. I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a rule follower and I'm going to go sneak into Mad Max.
Nice.
I'm going to go for a twofer.
Some McDonald.
Charlie, I remember buying my when I got my first apartment. My wife and I, my girlfriend at the time, we bought a 50-inch television for $3,500.
Man,
and now that same TV is probably $100. And you're like,
$3,500.
Yeah. See, we didn't have kids.
Yeah.
Even
but anyway,
without kids, I didn't.
It's like more than my mortgage payment.
Oh, you're telling me? Shoot. But anyway, so
it's a nice TV, but we need to move. We're done. Just pack your stuff.
Yeah, we live in the TV.
Yeah,
you
right.
live in the box it came in.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is. Yes.
All right, what are you taking?
Power from the neighbors. George Miller is such a creative filmmaker. I've never seen someone who was like, we can do that without special effects. And Jimmy, I'm telling you, when you watch the last Mad Max movie, those stunts, you're like, wow, that's crazy. And then you read about it. Every single one of those was real.
How many movies have there been since they brought it back? Is that the best way of saying it?
The second.
One. They just did one, so this is the second.
Yeah.
So I only need to really watch. Do I need to go back to the original? Not really. No, you can jump on? Okay.
You know what's crazy, too? I feel like Mad Max isn't even the main character of Mad Max Fury Road.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not even it.
Oh, Mad Max is a person. Okay, didn't know that. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah,
Miracle Max is his cousin, Jimmy.
Miracle Max from Princess
Jimmy,
Bride.
He's like Crazy Eddie. He's a branch of stores that sell cheap discount furniture.
It sounds good.
Mr. Richardson, you just need to live tweet all of these
I am.
films that you have to catch up.
I am. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it out like this is what I haven't seen. Attack me.
So yeah,
right,
I mean, every time I think I've seen it all, George Miller shows me something, and you're like, "Holy moly!" And I feel like our biggest miss of all time is they hired George Miller to make a Justice League movie, and it got scrapped. That would have, I feel like it would have been amazing. But anyway, it's going to have to be Dune 2. Dune 2 is, I have a feeling it's going to be like the Oppenheimer of this year. It's going to be a fantastically made film. Yet again, a absolutely loaded cast that they keep adding to, and what I hope is, because the first Dune was a little slow, just a hair, and this has a little bit more action in it. I feel like it's going to be a good movie. I just really hope it's not like 3.5 hours long.
It's long. I think it's like 246.
Yeah.
Because so what I did like this year is I didn't see Oppenheimer in the theater, and I kind of wish I did because it's that kind of movie. But what I did like about it is I just bought it when it came on digital, and my wife and I, we turned it into a miniseries. We watched it 45 minutes at a time.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go Dune 2.
Brandon.
I'm going Dune 2. I'm really excited for both films. But did anyone see my tweet today?
Choice.
Yeah, did anyone see my tweet today about Dune?
I did.
You did? So I'll edit it for this. But I said the reason I love the cynic and the nihilist in me loves Frank Herbert and the original few Dune books, because he essentially said it doesn't matter how good your intentions are. You're most likely a bad person in one or two ways, and your rise to power, again, no matter how much you want to do good, is going to inspire other people who are either full on bad or have some bad tendencies. And his entire philosophy is almost anti the convention and archetype of traditional sci-fi and hero. The chosen one is, despite his best efforts, the villain. And it's such a wonderful, amazing twist. And the world building so amazing. And those books are just so mind-blowingly good at the first time around that I'm just really excited for Dune 2. I'm really excited for Furiosa too. But Dune 2 is kind of the picture of 2024 for me.
Dune 2 advances. I'm just going to sit this one out because I'm not following that with my, I don't know. I guess I'll take Max. I don't really know. I have a sequel I'll let you guys have it. All right, so now we are down to the final 8. We'll go through this quickly, get to the final 4, get to the end, so we can all go to bed at some point. All right, we're back to Deadpool. We're taking on Inside Out 2. McDonald.
See, this is a tough matchup because it is my emotional heart versus my MCU heart.
That's a clever way.
No, I mean, because I have a feeling I'm going to love both of these movies in just very different ways. What I'm hoping is Deadpool 3 becomes everything I hoped that the Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be, because already you kind of see rumors of characters from different universes going to be in there. We already know Hugh Jackman's going to be part of it. And if they give you this crazy cameos that I was really, really hoping that Multiverse of Madness was going to do, because there's rumors that like Jennifer Garner's Elektra is going to be in it, and there's all these kind of rando kind of cameos. That's going to make this movie a must watch, and it's going to be one of those things that it's going to get, you don't want it spoiled by the internet, so everybody's going to go see it super early. I have a feeling it's going to do really well. Inside Out 2, it's just going to be a good movie for you to realize how to emotionally adjust. And, it's a more, I would say, more important movie. But if I had one ticket, it's going to be Deadpool 3. I don't want it ruined by the internet.
Brandon.
It's tough. I mean, if we're talking commercially speaking, people forget Inside Out 1 outgrossed both Deadpool movies. So it's a huge thing. But although I still think Deadpool 3 probably has a floor of about 700 million worldwide. Which one am I more? Man, I mean, I'm going to see both movies right away. Crazily, as much as I'm a superhero nerd, I think I got to go Inside Out too. I'm in the mood for a good cry. I think the state of the world has pushed
like
me
a
in.
Healthy cry.
Yeah, cathartic release. And as much as Deadpool 3 is probably going to be incredibly entertaining and everything, I think there's just something a little bit more raw. I don't really know the correct tense of that. And like we said, emotionally satisfying about Inside Out 2.
I like Wolverine. I love the character, Hugh Jackson's portrayal. Him coming back doesn't bother as much because how he ended in Logan. Deadpool's just hysterical, funny. They're friends in real life, so they had fun on the set. It's going to show up on the screen. And then they're saying they're going to be around the multiverse. Are they going to give me Wolverine fighting crazy, angry Hulk? Like, am I going to get that on screen? If that shows up in the trailer or something.
Crazy, angry, Ang Lee Hulk.
Yeah, like, give me a while. Give me something
weird.
I don't even know. I'm the big comic fan. It's the only one out there. But Inside Out, for many reasons, I want to see as well. I'm just going to say Deadpool. I'm going to take Deadpool. It's tight, though, because I would completely, like Mr. G said earlier, sneak out. But I will say Deadpool, Mr. J.
Well, come on. This is the semis. Everyone's going to say, I'll see both.
Yeah,
but which one are you going to see?
This is when it gets
first?
tight. It's getting tight now.
Which one are you going to see first?
There you go. I would choose to want to see Deadpool 3 because it's going to be a good time. I know it's going to be hilarious. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy myself. It's going to be fun. So, and I know Inside Out 2 is going to be great, but I really could watch that one at home on my couch. I could watch both on my couch, but I'd prefer to see Deadpool 3.
Civil War versus Gladiator 2. I'm just going to go first instead of hiding behind everyone else's picks. Just waiting to the end. I'm going to... Again, I would want to see both of these. I'm going to come back the next day. We're going to keep saying it every time because there's nothing here I don't like in the earlier rounds. I'm going to take Gladiator 2 for no reason other than the fact that you guys sold me on the first one. I don't know. It sounds interesting. I don't know. Denzel's in it. I like Denzel. I don't really know. It's a coin toss. I'm just taking Gladiator 2. Let's keep it moving. Cup.
Civil War.
I had a deeper thing to say, but I just don't at this point. I'm like, I don't know.
Civil War is, it's a small movie. It's like a bigger budget kind of art house movie. And I feel like this is where its journey ends. I'm surprised it got this far. I didn't think anybody else would be as interested to see it as I will, because Gladiator 2, for what I said before, I think it's going to be, not only is it going to be a good movie, it's going to be one of those movies that like penetrate the culture, kind of like Barbie last year, where it just, people just will refer to it again. It'll almost be like the 90s. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. So I'm going to say Gladiator 2.
Katz?
I want to hear Denzel sound, Jupiter ain't got nothing on me in Gladiator 2. That's what I want to hear. It's Gladiator 2. Come on. I mean, we've talked about legacy sequels here and how particularly Beetlejuice, they more often than not, they're not very good. But Ridley Scott, in my opinion, is still pitching heat in his 80s. So I'm really excited.
He's the LeBron James of directors.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. He's still got it. He's still got it.
Mr. G, I'm assuming you want to see Civil War. I know that was your fan favorite last time. You're so happy you made it this far in the draft. So you want me to just go ahead and write down you chose it, even though it's not.
No, I'm picking Gladiator.
Shocking.
Simple fact. No. It's more for the fact that I'm picking Gladiator, one, for the cinematic experience. I'm going to the theater. I want to go for the cinematic experience, and being in the theater with the sound, with the big screen, Gladiator deserves that. So, Gladiator.
I have a question for Mr. Katz.
Yes.
So, Brandon, Civil War is an A24 film. It's rumored to have a budget around $100 million. Do you think it's going to make its budget back domestically? Will $100 million worth of people come see it?
That's a really, really good question. Usually I have an opinion one way or another on like box office prognosis. But because this is A24's first swing at something really commercial and mainstream, because it is a Civil War movie in an election year in which both like supporters and haters might all show up because we don't really know what the politics of it is. I genuinely have no clue. I'm going to guess no, but I'm going to guess no. I'm leaning towards no, but like this is also something that could be like $100 million budget, did like 310 worldwide when all is said and done.
Well, I have a feeling it's either going to do 30 million or 300 million, because it's either going to be an event that everybody has to see, or it's so divisive that they're like, eh.
I've got nothing. I don't know what to expect, but I think that also enhances my particular excitement for it, because I'm like, oh, shrug emoji.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what the reception is, overseas reception of this movie.
I think overseas they're going to love it because they're like, look how silly America is.
Look at those dumb Americans.
Yeah. They already
do
have
that
an
a lot.
opinion. But Jimmy, P.S. Mad Max is on.
Which one should he watch
Max.
first, though?
Yeah, that's the question. Now my question to you. Yeah, which one? Mad Max, Gladiator 2.
Gladiator.
Or Inside
Gladiator.
Yeah.
I'm adding Inside Out, though, the first one.
All right, Gladiator, Inside Out, then Mad Max.
That's a great triple feature, like order. That's like a fun, like
you see it on the marquee. You're like,
Gladiator is Paramount.
I got all that stuff. So
there you go.
All that stuff. All right, halfway through the final four. Let's go. We got Wicked versus Ghostbusters. I'm probably at this point going to want to see Wicked. I will see Ghostbusters. I'm torn, nostalgia effect, but it is something I've never seen before, and I keep hearing Charlie's voice in my head going, big experience in the theater, and honestly, it just looked better for a Final Four. I'm not going to lie. I'm like the NFL. We're just rigging it, setting it up the way we want it. I'll take Wicked.
I'm the only one out of us four who was born in the 90s. Ghostbusters, as great as the original one is, it just doesn't hold like the same appeal to me as some other things. And I also saw it when I was older, as opposed to like Star Wars or Back to the Future or other other 80s things where I saw it at the right age to be like, okay, I'm obsessed with this now. So I just don't care that much about Ghostbusters. I'm sorry. Wicked.
Did you watch Goonies?
Yeah, I love Goonies too. Goonies is classic.
They're laughing because I hate Goonies. I actually hate that movie.
Hates the Goonies.
Oh,
yeah,
terrible.
I know.
The Princess Bride?
No, that I love. I read that to my students every year, but I can't absolutely hate Goonies.
All right. I just had a thought to myself as I'm sitting here thinking about which one he's going to choose. Are people going to be singing in the theater while I'm watching Wicked?
No.
Probably.
Depends on when you go.
Other than the Taylor Swift videos of the movie, I've never, ever, ever seen or heard of people singing in theaters during musical things. Ever.
Never. And I've been to a couple too. They don't do that. So
All
you know what? That might make your pick.
When I saw Toy Story 4, right? Toy Story 4? Yeah, Toy Story 4 in the theater. There was a dude behind me that I just wanted to punch in the face. He was like obnoxiously laughing. and like it just been like ruined the thing for me. I was so annoyed with that man and his date. Punched them both in the face. I'm afraid
Breaking news: Charlie hates the
Charlie's
public.
so much more violent than he's always got that edge. He's a Hallmark guy, but not really.
I'm really feeling it. I want to go see Wicked.
All
right. So anyway, so before I pick Mr. Richardson, I have a question for you. We're talking about legacy sequels a lot because a lot of these movies this year are legacy sequels.
Right.
Would you ever go see a legacy sequel to The Princess Bride?
I need to know who's involved. I need to know who's direct. I need to know. It's actually going to matter to me. I don't know this. There's a story. Buttercup's Baby was a sequel. I read that part of it. That's at the end of the regular book, where all of them are involved in it. I read this in my class every year for 24 years now. So I've read this thing so much. We watch the video every year. The kids love it. There's kids who have come in sick to hear parts of it. If you read the book, there's so much stuff they don't touch on that's in the movie. And there was a sequel he started writing called Buttercup's Baby that he never finished, like I said. So, I mean, it depends on who's involved. It honestly would depend on who's involved, but that's
okay.
It.
Yo, I mean, Billy Crystal can play Miracle Max with no makeup.
Exactly.
He's a listener, but not anymore.
So, having said that, one of these movies I keep saying is going to penetrate culturally, and it could be Wicked. I said last time I don't want them to change the music too much from what the Broadway versions are. Yeah, why not? Let's go Wicked.
Wicked advances. We have Lion King versus Dune. I'm just going to say Dune. This isn't even a game. I will 1,000% go see Dune. Is everyone on the same agreement? Are we going to just keep moving?
Yes. Sorry, Barry Jenkins.
Yeah, sorry. He's listening.
Not going to Leroy Jenkins that one. We're going to go see Dune. We're going to mess that up. I'm not messing up this choice.
All right, Cup, can you do the read real quick?
Hey, everyone. Exciting news from Ancient City Designs, a haven for handcrafted treasures. Rick and Tony Rosenbaum pour their hearts into creating stunning, affordable pieces. Did you know they now have a permanent booth at Coconut Barrel in St. Augustine, an artisan market featuring over 200 local vendors? At Coconut Barrel, you can find a selection of their inventory available for sale every day. But if you're not in the St. Augustine area, don't worry. They offer free shipping across the United States. Though their custom-made wonders take about 3 weeks, it's worth the wait. Rick and Tony keep you in the loop with visuals and updates every step of the way. Returns or exchanges aren't an option, but fear not. They're dedicated to nailing your vision and ensuring your satisfaction. Located in St. Augustine, this husband-wife duo can't wait to craft something special just for you. Check out Ancient City Designs online or visit their booth at Coconut Barrel for local treasures and that special local discount. Don't miss out. Visit ancientcitydesigns.com today and discover the magic of handmade at Ancient City Designs. Be sure to tell them that the Fandalorians sent you.
All right, first of all, y'all, shout out for the great live read. Look at that.
Yeah.
Action packed.
You know what we need to do, though, Mr.
I looked at their website. It was
Richardson,
really
Mr. McDonald.
Yeah.
Because the listeners are probably just as confused as I am. What was that about?
Oh, yeah. So we are part of the Unfiltered Studios network, and we're doing a bit of a live read. That was our first live read. And go check out their merchandise. It's good stuff. I looked online. That's exciting. You did a good job, McDonald.
Well, you know, I do know how to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, allegedly.
I always tell my kids, I never learned how to read.
No, I tell them, like, I don't read that.
Well,
I say that to my kids, and that too.
I got to tell you, my mom is probably very, very proud right now because I have a degree in broadcasting that I never used until we started podcasting.
There you go.
Yeah. Paid for it. All right, we are moving on to the final four. We are starting with DeadPool versus Gladiator 2. Mr. Katz, you go first.
DeadPool versus Gladiator 2. Oh, I don't know, guys. I think I'm going Gladiator 2, but that's close. That's tough. But Gladiator 2. Whew.
I'm slapping my ticket, hands down, Gladiator 2. I want to be entertained.
I think DeadPool will entertain me. I'm taking DeadPool. McDonald, we tying this up for a coin toss, or are you advancing something? You're muted.
That degree just went down the toilet.
Profound,
it's a waste again.
Profound stuff. Profound stuff, he said. He just forgot what it was, though, so he's not going to be able to say
Yes. In fact, it was so good, I'm never going to repeat it.
We lost that.
I'll have to wonder what his pick was.
Look, Deadpool 3, it's going to be filled with kind of nostalgia and cameos and a lot of that. And because of that, you're going to want to see that as soon as possible because you don't want it spoiled by the internet. So if I have a choice between these two tickets, trust, I don't think there's going to be a Gladiator 2 post-credit scene that's going to matter. It's not going to do, the Roman Empire expanded universe or something like that.
You know what?
Where, Augustus Caesar is like, now we rise, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to go for Deadpool 3 and just to muck it up for a tie.
You're a jerk. Flip the coin. Mr. G, you have the coin.
I do. We got my Venusaur Pokemon coin with Venusaur on the heads and tails is a Pokeball. So
do it.
Because it's gold and shiny, we're going to go with Gladiator.
For what, the heads?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. That didn't even spin in the air.
That was terrible. That was terrible. You dropped it on the floor? I can't see what that is.
It's gold and shiny. That's a Venusaur. That's heads. That means Gladiator wins.
All right.
Going to see Gladiator.
Gladiator.
The violence. It's rated R, right?
Of course. It better be.
I was hoping it wasn't
actually
G or anything.
It's animated. It's G and it's Little Gladiator.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like that Disney when you do like Marvel Friends.
Yes.
Like,
Spidey and his amazing friends.
Yeah.
Maximus and his amazing pal.
Wicked versus Dune to make it to the finals.
Oh.
Listen, McDonald, you can go first. Actually, no, Mr. G, you can go first. We never let you go first, Mr. J. Because you always said you hate going first. That's why I normally don't do that.
Yeah.
So I'll let him go first if you don't. I feel bad because I always never do it out of habit.
I feel like a broken record. Cinematic experience. I'm gonna go see Dune.
Okay, fair enough. McDonald.
Well, first of all, we should really appreciate how far Wicked went in this bracket. I mean, they should be super proud of themselves.
They are because it's our show.
When I had them ranked in like the 30s. They were a play-in game because I wasn't sure how it was going to do, and it is just mowed through. But this is where its adventure ends. I have to go Dune.
I'm going to. All right, first, when you look at Wicked, you're looking at something where many people don't know this story in terms of it was on Broadway. There's no other version of it. There's no other way you can.
It was a book.
There's no. All right. So for most of the young, okay, I didn't read the book. So let's put it this way.
I'm gonna go download it right now.
I didn't know. Most kids I know are only aware of this if they've either seen the show. I don't think there was like a other version of it. Everyone gets the story. Like it's not out there enough. My daughter doesn't really know. She's heard of it. No, we never went to see the show. It's not like some of these other stories about characters where you kind of know something about them going in. It's just, I don't know. It's different. I'm interested in it. So I'm going to take that over Dune because you sold me on in the early rounds. It's a story I haven't seen. It'd be a nice experience. And I really am going into something where I know zero about. I know enough about Gladiator only because you three told me. Deadpool's Deadpool. I didn't like the first Dune. Wicked's the only unknown on this deck for me personally. I know very little about other than just a sentence or two. I don't know any of these songs people might be singing in theaters. I've never seen it. Like, I don't know anything. So I would take Wicked. I'm assuming it's going to lose, but I don't want it to lose like that. So ready? Instead of a 4-game sweep, maybe it's a 3-1. Okay? A gentleman's sweep. A 4-1, so a gentleman's sweep.
It's Dune. I said, it's kind of my picture of 2024. And that's coming from someone who loves the books, who gave the first movie only, quote, an 8 out of 10, because I did feel as if the characters were a little detached. And had you not read the books, I don't know how you could have followed what was going on in the first Dune movie. But the artistry and the craftsmanship of it is top notch. Denis Villeneuve is a master, and I have the hopes that this one, with a little bit more action, a little bit more of the throat clearing plot setup already established, can be a little bit more emotionally resonant. So I'm very excited for Dune 2.
Well, that's okay, Mr. Katz. Just wait 20 years for Dune the musical.
Then you'll be caught up.
I would go to see that. Are you kidding me?
I'll steal that line from Denzel in Philadelphia, which I rewatched. I said, explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Brandon, one day, just explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old, Dune 1, and then I'll go rewatch Dune 1, and I know understand. My biggest thing Please. My biggest thing is, I've said it many times on here, I need an on-ramp. If you do not give me an on-ramp to get onto this expressway, I have no clue what's going on. In Dune, I was just so confused. I didn't understand it, and I was really paying attention.
And that's don't blame you. Again, if I read the book, I would be like, I have no clue what's going on in this film.
Yeah, and that's what turned me off to it a little bit. All right, so we get to our finals. It is
Hold on, I just want to point out, I have to wait 8 weeks now before this book is available to me. So in 8 weeks from today,
we'll come back.
I will share in my opening intro that I finished listening to Wicked.
Now, Charlie, Lauren read it, and she said it's actually a little slightly R-rated.
More the merrier.
Oh, man.
Listen, I listened to the original Wizard of Oz, and it's a kid's book, and there's a lot of murdering going on. But no, Wicked was written for adults, where Wizard of Oz was written for kids. The movie was for mainstream, whatever. But Wicked, the book, was written for adults, not for kids. So.
Sequel versus sequel. One shall stand, one shall fall. Optimus Prime. Yo, shout out to Prime.
Hold on. How many original what was the farthest an original movie got? Civil War?
Yeah.
Not a lot of original movies.
Sadly, crazy. No. And 2024 has about 10 less wide releases than 2023, which was already a light year. So everybody listening, if you think a movie looks good, please go see it in theaters. The industry really needs it.
You know what? I'm going to see everyone on this list because you said that, Brandon. Brandon, I'm going to every one of these. You can come visit us. You're close now, and we'll all go together to a film. I'm in for this.
He's a ferry away.
Yeah, you have to come to us because, once again, our kids. So you have to come to us. We can't get
Brandon, we have a nice little movie theater. It's like the 90s. There's no you don't have to reserve a seat. You just show up, you buy a ticket, you sit wherever you want. It's nice.
Here. Look, we're near the Hamptons.
You're gonna have to do a harder sell to convince me to come to Long Island.
There's a brewery right next to where the boat gets off.
There we go. Mr. McDonald speaking my language.
There we did. We did it.
I'm with you.
That's a nice little brewery right there.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So we know one of our summer Friday plans.
We'll record a podcast there. We do have to get together. I'm not recording a podcast.
We could see the movie and then do the follow-up post-movie review at the brewery.
That does sound kind of fun.
Like 6 beers later.
Oh my God. Because if we use Brandon, all our wives will probably let us pull this off. Like, listen, the guy's coming from all over. He's famous. He's on. He's doing the things. He's inviting us. What do you mean we can't do this? Wow.
Brandon, I was just telling my wife, I love your use of the word cavell earlier because it is my mother-in-law's and my wife's favorite word.
Oh, well, I'm assuming they're fellow members of the tribe.
Of course they are. For those who don't know, the best way to describe cavell is it means like your heart is full.
Yeah. It's a Yiddish term.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You thought I was.
And it is. It's just.
I don't know.
My wife will be just hanging out, and she's just like, I'm very cavell right now.
I will exchange Hebrew and Yiddish terms with her.
There we go. I love it.
We got to all get together. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Dune 2, Gladiator 2. I'm tired. Here we go. Who are we taking with the final pick?
Hold on. This is the end?
We're at
the
end.
This
is the championship. Final. This is the championship.
Hold on. Just to remind everyone, last year our final was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning versus Fast X. So take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but I didn't want to watch. I'm going to go on the record and say I didn't want to watch either of those movies, and I thought those were terrible picks.
But wasn't last year based on box office alone?
It was, though.
So we
thought it would be more successful.
Yeah.
Mr. McDonald was trying to patch that high of picking Top Gun.
Wait, before we get to the finals, we do have to do the finals because I got to get out of here. But the first we get out of here, which one of all these movies you think is going to have the biggest box office? You're the professional. If you could pick out of everything we've seen so far.
I think I said last week, I think it's either Despicable Me 4 or Kung Fu Panda 4. I think those have a good bet.
With the biggest box office, really?
Yeah. You see how much money the Despicable Me franchise makes, man? The spinoff is a guaranteed $1 billion.
So listen to this, though. To give him credit to this pick here, I'm going to see Gladiator by myself. That's one ticket. Those other movies are like 2 tickets because I got to pay to get in to bring my son.
Yeah,
and then if I have another kid that wants to tow along, that's another kid. So those movies are get more of my money.
Office thing. Yeah.
They get more of my money.
You know what, Mr. Katz, you can go. Actually, no, Mr. Katz, you're the guest. You're going to go last because you're going to say some profound thing, and it's going to be amazing. I don't like following you sometimes. Mr. G, I'm going to make you go first. You
sorry, hold on. What I did find is I found the gambling.
I'm never getting to finish this. Go.
So I found the gambling odds. So ready for the 2024 box office biggest opening weekend.
Right.
So these are the candidates.
All right.
The highest one is Deadpool 3 at 6-4. Then Despicable Me 4, 9-2.
Brandon said that. I said it first.
Wicked Part 1, 6-1. Joker 2, the odds are 7-1. And Inside Out, the odds are 8-1.
Vegas odds. Yo, shout out Mr. McDonald pulling out the Vegas odds on us. Didn't even think to look that up.
I also found the highest opening weekend odds for vegasodds.com. And their number one was Joker 2, then Deadpool 3, then Despicable Me 4, then Mufasa, Kung Fu Panda, Dune 2, Inside Out 2, and Sonic 3.
Gladiator didn't even make that list, huh?
Yeah.
Sonic 3 is not going to be one of the top.
No.
I don't think so. But
I think it's going to do perfectly fine, but you're talking about a franchise that tops out in like that $300 million range.
Yeah.
So, but if I had to gun to my head, I'd say Deadpool 3 because Marvel people have to see something.
They might show up. All right, let's go through this. Charlie, go first.
This is definitely a championship choice. Now, if Mad Max got on here, I'd say 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, 2 men enter.
Jimmy doesn't get that reference.
I don't get that reference at all. I don't do.
So,
but I will.
I don't know. I'm more excited to want to go see Gladiator 2 than Dune 2. I think Dune 2 is going to be. It's going to be good in the theater. If I have my one ticket and I had to see one in the theater and one at home, I'm going to see Dune 2 in the theater and I'll watch Gladiator at home. Regretfully.
I got my pen. I'm thinking. What's my thinking pen?
Yeah.
I'm deep thought. I'm just like.
Yeah, ready. It's going to be like 45 seconds of silence. People are going to think that like their podcasting thing broke.
The Sopranos finale of podcasting.
Oh man,
and recording.
There's no wrong answer here. So, but me for personally, I'm going to go Gladiator 2. I do like the idea of a legacy sequel because this tells me that they knew what they wanted to do. They made it just for this express reason. Both of these are spectacular choices. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Gladiator 2.
Okay, so as someone who did not like the first Dune, did not see the first Gladiator, I'm in the Mr. G zone of I don't really want to pick between these two that he sat in last year. However, so all I'm picking on is based on the sell job that all three of you have done for Dune and for the first Gladiator all the way through. When you think about Dune, the fact that Brandon offered to give me the on-ramp might make me swing that vote. But when you look at Gladiator, you look at me going the Dune. I wanted to be the guy that because you know what happens here? You pick the first one that you're going to not do, and then you go to the other one. Like, when you think of a Dune,
it's funny.
I wanted to flip it. I want to start with Dune, then come back to Dune. You thought about that too, Charlie. I hate it.
No, right now I'm thinking of the scene of when they're in Gladiator, when they're in the Coliseum,
I haven't seen it,
and they're chanting, just being in the theater with the surround sound of the chanting and the cheering and you're like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but when you see this, when you see the worm in Dune 2, that's also you want to see that.
Thinking of a sand crawler just rumbling, just the sounds, the rumbling.
Yeah.
Ooh, imagine Dune in 4DX.
I know.
All right.
They're gonna blow sand in my eyes, though. Then I'm gonna go high.
It's 9:37. It's 9:37 on the school night, guys. Brandon with a Dune 2 with a promised on-ramp presentation from Brandon. I take Dune 2. Brandon, what are you taking?
Wow. Mr. G, Mr. McDonald, don't be afraid because fear is the mind killer. I'm going with Dune 2. I'm sticking with my boy from the beginning. Denis Villeneuve is arguably the greatest filmmaker working right now. I gotta see it, man. You got Zendaya and Timmy. Timmy's hair is going to be doing so much good hair acting in this. Oh, I can't wait. And in the trailer, you got what's the Latin actor who's extremely good, Javier Bardem. He's like, I don't care what you believe, I believe. I'm like, come on, I'm jacked up. I'm gonna pick up a sword and fight for House Atreides. Let's go.
Well, as long as this leads to Timothée Chalamet hosting Saturday Night Live more, because I think he's been spectacular every time he hosts.
He has been really funny.
Yo, his rap game with Pete Davidson.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
I watched that. Over on replay.
I want to talk about the fact that our final was coming down to a Pokemon coin toss, which is
It
ridiculous
is?
in itself. Yeah, because it's tied.
It really is nerds by night. My
It's
God.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's two. I took Dune. That you guys took Gladiator. Brandon
I
just
took Dune. I took Dune.
Yeah, I took
swear I thought
Gladiator.
you said
Oh.
Yeah,
Gladiator,
Mr.
Charlie.
G, I thought you took Gladiator.
You're
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
the sound of the.
No. I said thinking about backpedaling on my choice. I picked Dune because Dune I want to see in the theater. Gladiator I could watch at home, but then I was double thinking myself. I don't know, the cheering in the background.
This
the
is now
excitement.
anticlimactic since we completely thought it was going another way. And with that pick, Dune has won. Wow, it worked out. No, this was great. This was.
Wow, I
great.
hope they put it on the movie poster when it comes out.
Fandalorians approved. Little logo. I'm in for
Yes.
the whole thing. All right, this has been fun. Brandon, thanks for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me, as always.
You're gonna have to come back again because Hayden somehow got the 7th. So you're now no longer tied. Just in one
all
episode.
you have to do is call Mr. Richardson, and then he'll play the voicemail.
They do it
Yeah,
voice.
all the Fandalorians.
Yes.
What's that number?
Yeah, he's got to call the voicemail. The voicemail, if you want to call and leave a message for the Fandalorians or text us, 631-494-3632. Let us know what you thought about all this. Send us a message. It's a lot of fun. Anything voicemails you give us, any text, we'll read it on the podcast. Should be fun. Brandon, thanks again for joining us. You're going to come back one day, I promise. I know you're dying to get on. You love us so much.
Always
You will be welcome back. Yeah, no, it's always fun. For Mr. Katz and Mr. McDonald and Mr. G, I am Mr. Richardson. Thank you always for listening, and we will talk to you next time.